This is a case that may make the Brotherhood proud, a rare moment where a man refused to suffer in silence and fought back, using the law as his weapon. In November 2019, a woman called Janet Mikado lodged a complaint to the Domestic Violence and Victim Support Unit (DOVSU), the Ghana Police Service (HOHOI). It was a case that one Boris Fidelis, himself an officer stationed at DOVSU, had impregnated her and was denying the pregnancy and its costs. Boris was invited to a meeting to explain his side of the story. The Divisional Commander of Police, Shraj, and the District Social Welfare Officer were all in attendance at the meeting. It was a very serious matter given his position. Here was a man whose job was to investigate cases of domestic abuse and neglect, now facing accusations of abandoning a pregnant woman. His career, his reputation, and his future all hang in the balance. At the meeting, he denied authorship of the pregnancy, but in order to avoid disgrace, and upon being prevailed upon by elders, he agreed to pay monthly amounts of 100 cedis to Janet until she gives birth. Seemed the logical thing to do. How was he going to definitively establish paternity on an unborn child? But he had a plan. Boris brought an action at the district court at HOHOI seeking a paternity test because he was confident that he was not the father of the child. The court granted his request and he bore the costs of same. The results brought him joy and all his suspicions were validated. He was not the father. After this vindication, Boris initiated an action in the High Court seeking damages for deceit. His case was that Janet had intentionally made false representations that he was responsible for the pregnancy. He relied on these representations to his detriment, parting with money to support her and to run a DNA test. Indeed, he was asking to be compensated for all that happened. Janet filed a defense that was simply scandalous. She alleged that he was having troubles with her own marriage and reported the matter to DOVSU. At the time, Boris was the one handling her case. In the course of handling her matter, they got into an amorous relationship for about 2.5 years. She was effectively putting Boris's professional conduct into question. She claimed that she informed him of the pregnancy and he asked him to terminate it, but she refused. Janet further counterclaimed for compensation, claimed to have spent more than 2 years with Boris, playing the role of a wife and catering to his cooking, washing, and sexual needs. In her view, the DNA test was also fake, completely manufactured. The court, against this background, urged the parties to try and settle out of court. All attempts proved unsuccessful. The matter had to proceed, so the court ordered filing of statements. Janet failed to comply, and even after she was given several opportunities, she couldn't. She was served with notice to attend the hearing, but she did not show up. She appeared to have abandoned the case, so the court struck out her entire defense and proceeded to hear Boris. He tendered in the proceedings from the district court and the DNA test as evidence and made the case strongly that he was entitled to compensation. He had been deceived by Janet and this brought him much shame and embarrassment. Janet did not attend court to respond to all these allegations at trial. The court's duty was very simple. Justice Alma Tete of the High Court HOHOI applied the legal principle of estobel. The issue of whether or not Boris was the father had already been determined by the district court, and this was a conclusive determination that could not be opened up by his court. Boris was not the father of the child. Having established this, the court proceeded to find whether indeed Janet was liable in deceit. The thought of deceit is established where a person makes a false representation without any belief in its truth, or recklessly without caring whether it is true or false. If another person relies on it and suffers damage, the tort is established. The court indicated that Janet was liable. She informed Boris that she was responsible for the pregnancy and it was later established to be false. In the view of the court, only a pregnant woman knows for certain who the author of the pregnancy is. She had acted treacherously and needed to pay. On the evidence, Boris had spent 100 cedis per month on maintenance from November 2019 to October 2020. He also spent 500 cedis on transportation and about 100 cedis on food items. The cost of the DNA test itself was 2,700 Ghana cedis. The High Court awarded against Janet as follows: special damages of 4,300 Ghana cedis, general damages of 10,000 Ghana cedis, and legal costs of 6,000 Ghana cedis. The case provides some key lessons. The use of the district court's family tribunal system in paternity disputes is a very effective means of establishing truth. Second, sometimes letting things go is simply not the way. When you are right, you have the evidence, you may want to fight. With determination, you will prevail. Follow Super Law GH Studios for more real stories, real cases, real people.